At the end of the day, we have some very, very simple needs. And these needs, on the top of the list, always has been to feel contentment. Peace is not absence of war. Peace is not a declaration. Peace is a fundamental human need that needs to be felt from within. Is it just a dream? Personal peace is just a dream? A concept? An idea? Or is it a reality? Can it happen? Of all those things that we see out there, there are people say that that's our nature. All these wars and all of this is our nature. I disagree. Because when we are centered, when we're placed in that equilibrium, where our hearts are full, then our true nature shines. And the true nature that we have is beautiful.
For more than 50 years, Prem Rawat has dedicated his life to bringing a simple message of peace to people all around the world. Through his work, hundreds of thousands of people of different cultures and nationalities have been able to experience peace, beauty, and fulfillment within their own lives.
We're looking at this world and it's like, this is something that really is missing. We need this. We need peace.
It seems like some people in these forums, they're finally actually realizing that they can't do it on their own. You cannot just say, be happy and do this and be happy, make a rule for it. You know, people have to feel it.
It's not the peace that we don't have war. It's finding peace inside and it's being in peace with myself. And then how can I not be in peace with you if I'm in peace with myself? So that's what I think that he's talking about.
I want you to understand what it means for you to be alive. I want you to live this life consciously, not unconsciously. I want you to accept the goodness of every single day. I want you to squeeze the joy that is held in every single moment and have it for the rest of your life. I want to introduce you to a friend that is inside of you, which will ensure that you will never be lonely for the rest of your life. I bring too much good news for people to accept. I say to people, I have good news for you. You are alive. And people look at me like, what? You dragged us out here just to tell us that? But my friends, there is no better news. There isn't. There isn't. There isn't. And never will be. Not for you. Not for you. You are unique. There will never, ever be another one like you. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. And that's why it's important. Not for me, but for you. It is important for you that this face of yours wears the miracle of kindness, of joy, of gratitude, of understanding. Is that your truth? I don't know. You figure it out. But let me ask you one simple question. When you're figuring it out, listen to what your heart has to say. Because in this heart is the thirst for reality. In this heart is the thirst for that kindness. In this heart is the thirst to understand and recognize that miracle. In this heart is the thirst to feel that gratitude. If you didn't know joy, you would never long for it. But you knew joy once. You want it back. You know what it feels like to feel good. Man was walking along, had a huge load on his shoulders, hunched over. A young guy came to him, said, you're an old man, you've lived in this world for a long time. I'm just starting out. Do you have any advice for me? And the man took his load and put it down, stood up straight, then picked up his load, put it back on his shoulders, hunched over and walked. That was his advice. You carry a load on your shoulders. That's not yours. You carry in your heart a joy that is yours. Understand, realize. Be fulfilled. Be happy. Turn up the voice that is good in you. The voice of peace. The voice of gratitude. The voice of understanding. Not the voice of questions, but the voice of answers. And in your life, I'm not concerned about the world. You, each one of you, needs to be honored. That's what I believe in.
Listening to him, he made me aware of a part of me that I don't think that I had addressed or been in touch with maybe since my childhood. And he made me feel a simplicity and like feelings that I could remember feeling when I was like 10 or 12, playing outside on my own. It was really, really strange. So it was almost like my heart was this thing that had been almost, it's horrible to say, but like packed down in a box and put in the attic or, for some years. And he was this wonderful person coming along saying, by the way, remember that box you packed away a few years ago?
The joy that I was feeling was actually emanating from my heart. And I couldn't put my finger on it. Where's your heart? Tick, tick, tick. Yeah, okay. But where was this feeling coming from? And it was coming from somewhere inside of me. And to me, that was a powerful realization, very life-changing, because then I realized, this is why I'm investing so much time in listening to this message and listening to this man, because he's touching that part of me that the ancient philosophers and poets have all talked about, the heart, and it's real.
A human being without peace is not complete. In the heart of every single human being, and I mean every single human being, dances the desire to be in peace. Not your definition of peace, but the real peace. The peace that is within you. If we want social peace, then the first thing that'll have to happen is that cause that is causing the turmoil. Where does the turmoil come from? Who fights? People fight. People fight. That's where the turmoil comes from. And if that turmoil has to be taken away, first it has to be taken away in people. People like you and I. Then and only then can one begin to imagine the possibility, the reality of the sweet, sweet peace. Do I have a vision for peace? No, I have something more. And very humbly, I say to you, very humbly, that what you're looking for is within you. That peace for you as a human being is entirely possible on the face of this earth. It is entirely possible. Not impossible, very, very possible. Turn within, and you will feel it.
In an average year, Prem Rawat will speak at over 100 different meetings and events all around the world. In the 5 decades that he has been engaged in his work, it is estimated that he has addressed over 12 million people. His talks have become regularly available on television in over 40 different countries. Now, in any one week, his message can be reaching up to 10 million people.
Within a 3-month period where I watched videos consistently, I felt like I began to know more about myself than I ever had in any time in my life. And I felt like I was discovering things about me that I never knew was there.
Each time I listened, I had a slightly new perspective on what he was saying. Each time I approached his message again, I felt something in me shift a little bit.
It is so important for me to listen to what he's saying because it's a reminder constantly about that opportunity that I have every day.
Prem Rawat's concern for the well-being of people around the world extends beyond the promotion of inner peace. The Prem Rawat Foundation, TPRF, which he founded in 2001, also works to support the provision of nutritious food, clean water and eye care to people in some of the most impoverished parts of the world. He designed the innovative Food for People program to help people break out of the cycle of poverty by providing them with the basic needs of nutritious food and clean water.
He noticed that, particularly in this rural area, in the Bantoli village area, that the children, although they were happy and seemed okay, they just seemed really thin, really malnourished. And he decided to start a facility there, which he called Food for People. This project was done in collaboration with the village elders, and the people of Bantoli looked at it as their project. So they were very happy to be part of it. It was really heartwarming to see that these children could now come back and continue their education.
Food for People programs are now being implemented in India, Nepal and West Africa. The Foundation works closely with local communities and places a strong emphasis on not interfering with cultures and religions and respecting each individual as a human being.
When we went to Ranchi and we opened up the Food for People, the impact that it has actually had in the community has been unbelievable. First of all, it gave the families the break that they needed because they were so much under the power curve that then they started to get themselves together. And then we opened it up for the elders, and the elders were able to come, have food, grow strong, go back in their community, and do all the things that they needed to do for this community to function properly.
The Foundation recognizes that along with food and water, peace is a fundamental human necessity. One of its most successful initiatives has been the Peace Education Program. This program helps people discover their own inner resources, tools for living, like choice, hope, and the possibility of personal peace. Thousands of people all over the world are now attending the Peace Education Program in organizations as diverse as educational institutions, including colleges, universities, and classes for adult education, civic and government groups, community programs, corporations, health centers, senior centers, veterans organizations, and correctional facilities.
Yes, I was in jail. I had been invited to speak. There are some inmates who have been listening to my message. So they wanted to see me and they wanted to talk to me, so I went. And there they are. They're in a prison. They're in a prison. Now, that's a pretty bad place to be. But do you know that they felt hope? That they felt joy? That in fact one of them said, I've been in prison most of my life. I started getting into drugs. I was in prison. And I just had no reason to smile. And then I heard what you were talking about. And now I smile. And it was, for me, a wonderful thing. And of course, the whole event there, which was approximately 2 hours, was one of the most touching events. And it wasn't a touching event because, oh, look at, these people are incarcerated, they're in prison, and so on and so forth. But it reminded me that peace is not circumstantial. It is not tied to circumstances. That true joy is not tied to circumstances. Because isn't that what we work so hard to improve? And we think if our circumstances improve, if our situation improves, then we will be able to be happy.
In Ecuador, the Peace Education Program has had a profound impact on the lives of gang members in some of the most disadvantaged areas.
Mi vida antes fue llena de conflictos, caminábamos por la calle y ya tenías un enemigo por ahí, por otro lado, y tú, al no saber controlarte, al no saber pensar, reaccionabas mal ante ello, entonces dábamos chance de lado y lado a crear violencia. Entonces con esto, escuchando el mensaje de paz, hemos tratado de cambiar.
Over the years, Prem Rawat has received widespread recognition for his work. He has been honoured by the governors and mayors of states and cities across the United States and Europe, and has received the keys of cities in North and South America, Italy, Japan, and Taiwan. He is increasingly asked to speak as an honorary guest at conventions and meetings on the topic of peace.
Do your future project include a visit to Libya or in some way offering help to this population? I'm sure that they would be very happy to meet you in the future.
I really feel that that's very heartfelt. I travel around the world wherever I'm invited and wherever I feel that I can help. So I would be very honored someday to be invited to Libya and to go there and to talk to the citizens of Libya. That would be wonderful. Because fundamentally my message does not reach into the realms of religion or philosophies or cultures. It reaches for the heart of every human being.
I'm deeply, deeply thankful for him bringing peace and happiness into my life and unpacking that box where I had put my heart aside a bit, and made me see that I can have it all, that I can listen to my heart. I can have this beautiful, beautiful feeling of being alive in my life, and I can do all the other things that I do in life, and there's no conflict. He's never asked me to choose anything. He's never actually asked me to do anything. He's just made himself and his wisdom available to me. And I'll be forever thankful for that.
It's just so simple. It's a real experience that exists inside of me, and I can get in touch with it and enjoy it. And he is the one who is really facilitating this for me. I could have never ever in my wildest dream come even close to finding this out by myself.
I cannot tell you what peace is. Does that mean I haven't felt peace? I have felt peace. And I feel peace every day. But I can't tell you what it feels like. Like I can't tell you what does sugar really taste like in my mouth. Because if you want to taste the same taste that I am tasting, you need to taste it too. And then and only then will you understand what I am talking about. For me, I understand this, that this life is a gift. And life makes all these other miracles possible. That you can be, that you can think, that you can admire, that you can have gratitude in your life. Gratitude, thankfulness. These are just attributes of peace. My forte is I can get you in touch with that experience that is inside of you. Now those are big words, very bold words. But they're not a problem for me. A lot of people come to me and say, can I really have peace in my life? Not a problem, relax. Where do I begin? And this is what I say to people. This is where you begin. First step of that ladder inside of you, going inside of you, the first step of that ladder is understand with no uncertainty that what you're looking for is inside of you. Because whatever you think of yourself, that is not you, my friends. That is not you. That is not you. What is you is beautiful. What is you is incredible. What is you is divine. Impeccable. That's you.